Good morning, my family. How are y'all doing, YouTube family? Curtis with Track Rider Trucking LLC. Just want to have to say good morning to all you folks out there. Hope everybody's doing good. Today's the 27th of August. Last time I talked to you, I was in Denison, Texas, prepping to start this 3-drop load event, and it was quite interesting. So far, I'm on my 90 right now. In fact, I'm backed into a dock and waiting on them to offload me for this load, and this load will be completed. Now, like I said earlier, I don't know whether or not this is going to make this week's settlement because this is Thursday morning, but we'll see what happens. It's a 50-50 shot, but we'll see. I know my trainer, not my trainer, but my fleet manager told me that he wanted me to get as soon as I got empty, I needed to turn the bills in ASAP, so we'll see. But anyway, it was quite an adventure and everything. I left out, it was the 25th when I talked to y'all last. I left out about 11 o'clock that evening, and then I made it to my first drop, which was quite interesting because I got there. This drop was in Flower Mount, and when I got there, I lined up and got in the gate. Well, we got inside, and then I backed up, turned my bills in, and of course this electronic crap, it seems like the way of the com data check when you get a lumpers fee, I guess the com checks are just about non-existent. Everybody's going electronic, and it's a pain in the butt because they use a certain system, and sometimes our system don't work or whatever, so it's a pain in the butt. But that seemed to work out pretty good for us. The only thing is you got to keep the procedures going. If you don't, then you're hung up and you're waiting on other things to happen. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to touch bases with you. I got in there. They started offloading, and I noticed it took them a little bit longer than I anticipated, which we talked about this before. I was questioning with my fleet manager and, of course, people that work night fleet manager, that the bill of ladings, the bills didn't match the route. And what I'm saying is that there was 2 drops that were reversed. General Mills wanted us to, according to the bills, the first drop was supposed to be in Louisville, Texas, and we talked about this. I believe I touched on it a little bit. And Flower Mount was supposed to have been the second drop. Well, the Qualcomm had it different. Qualcomm had its appointment at 1:30 at Flower Mount, and then it one at 7 o'clock in Louisville. Well, the problem was when we got backed in and everything was fine, what took them so long is the lumper, I guess, apparently went in and realized that the load was correctly loaded by General Mills, but our sales or whichever, and I'm not trying to blame nobody or pointing fingers, they just set the appointments up wrong, I think. So anyway, they were real nice about, pulling those 21, or I think it was, 21 pallets out, pulling air out and put it back in, but they pretty much double charged prime for it on the lumpers fee. So that cost them almost 4 bills, and I kind of laughed. I thought, well, it's going to happen. So anyway, they were real nice about it, cordial, didn't get upset or nothing. They went ahead and got me ready, and I took off, and I went ahead and I only had Qualcomm again, they go by zip code to zip code. It's 4 miles according to Qualcomm, but it ended up being 13 miles to my next drop, which was Louisville. Anyway, I got there. Of course, I got there early, way early, like 3 hours early, because I was right there and my clock was already running. So I went ahead and drove. Got there, I had to park a bunch of trucks, and I just went ahead and went to sleeper berth and went and lay down for about an hour, and then I woke up. Just about my appointment was at 7, so I went ahead and got up around 4:45 because they didn't even open gates till 5:30, 5:45 when I woke up. And I noticed trucks were moving into the gate because they were all lined up. Well, there's 3 or 4 of them in front of me, but they weren't moving. So I sit there for about a minute, and I said, okay, it's 7:01. I'm within my hour. I'm leaving. So I just pulled around all of them. I must have passed 20 trucks and got in line, and nobody said a word to me. I got in line, gave me my gate. I backed in. That's a pretty cool place, folks. Citco of Texas. They're located in Louisville. Very good people, very nice. In fact, they had a a cantina set right up there in the front area where you were backed into. You can go get your breakfast burrito or whatever. That was pretty cool. And we went in there. I set up and got all my stuff in. They gave them the bills. Went in there. The system went right. Lumper fee was by check that time, so I had to fill out a ComData check and get that taken care of. I was in and out probably, by 7 o'clock. I was out by 8 o'clock, 8:15, 8:30. So I didn't have nothing left to do. So I said to myself, well, run your clock and go all the way up and go to your last drop, or close to your last drop, your 90, and in Oklahoma City. So I took off and went out, and I got all the way up to Oklahoma City, and I stepped over. There's a Petro over here, pretty good sized Petro. So I went ahead and pulled in there, and went ahead and kicked back, went off duty, and then I went in and had me a nice meal at the Iron Skillet, and ate some breakfast, and then I got my gear, and I went in and took me a good shower. And then I come back to the truck and shoot. I still had plenty of time because I didn't have my appointment here just north. It was about, I think I was like 9 miles from my 90. So I went ahead and went in sleeper berth, kicked back and relaxed and watched a couple of movies, and then I went to bed. Got up this morning about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and had me a couple of cups of coffee, and took off, drove over here, and I've been docked in, and I'm waiting on them to do their things here. This is going to be another lumper's fee on this one. I got to get an express code for this one. So as soon as they give me the number of what it's going to cost, then I'll call it in and get an express code, take my stuff, get my paperwork, and then this job will be finished. Turn in my 90 call, and then wait and see what kind of proposal I get. I haven't seen nothing on the board yet, so we'll go from there. Anyway, I want to give a shout out to some of the guys. Hey, Matt, yeah, that was a good comment about my coughing and everything. My mouth covered, dude. It is what it is. It's a bad habit, and if I ain't known by now in 60 years, I'll never learn. But I do cover my mouth around public people, so just to let you know, and you're welcome for the shout out. Hey, I don't have a problem. I'll talk to anybody, even whether it's positive or negative. And I'm saying your comment was negative. It's just that I don't practice that in my truck. I mean, in public, yes, I'll cover my mouth up and everything. I just don't do it in my truck. And also with Skeletor, thank you, brother. Yeah, I'm hanging in there, man. We're gonna get this right. We're gonna one way or the other. Rob, hey buddy, appreciate your comments. Philip S., thank you as well. And Rod, man, hey Rod, we'll discuss this in further detail about the ELD. I'm continuously learning, but the last couple of times that I was able to run on recaps, for some reason the truck broke, and I had to go in and I got a reset. But the way I was running those recaps, it looked perfect, man. It was running good for me. I tried, my personal deal is I try to follow what my trainer taught me, Jamal. I try to run about 9.5 hours, or 9 to 9.5 hours a day, and you'll end up saving time. But lately it's not been working out because you get stuck at these receiving areas and pickup areas, and it just kills your 14-hour clock. They need to do something about that 14-hour clock. It's a joke. I mean, you don't get a full day in, and your clock runs out, and you're only running on 14, and then your pickup numbers are really different. I ain't really figured that out yet, how they figure out how much recap you get back per day, because it's kind of funny. I was looking at mine, and I ran that first day into Oklahoma, which I didn't really need to leave. I ended up with 30 some hours on standby before my first drop. But the problem was, I just went ahead and went down there and got preset. I was 76 miles out, so I didn't really care. I knew I had plenty of time to get there. But it only gave me back to like 4 hours and some change for the first day of the recaps. Now I've got 4 more days before I even start on recaps. I'm sitting right at 56 hours. Yeah, 56:39 left on my 70, and I've only been on the road since when? I left on the 25th, so basically I've only been on the road 2 days. 24, 25th, I've been only on the road for 2 days. So my clock didn't start till I had a reset 70 because of the breakdown of the truck. But right now, 56:39, and I'm sitting with 4 hours starting on the, I believe it's on the 31st or the 1st of September. So I still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more days before I even start on my recap. So I kind of judge it by that. 56 hours divided by 5, you're going to looking at over 10 hours a day. So I'm safe for now. With that being said, I can't run much further than that, so I'm going to go back to my routine of 9.5 hours driving, whether it's on the 14-hour clock. There'll be an hour and 30 minutes plus left on my clock when I make my stops, unless something changes that with deliveries and appointment times. But I ran it up there when I got back to Prime last week to get my truck fixed. I had over 30 some hours on my clock. I had recapped that many hours back, so I knew I was going to be safe, even if I hadn't brought it in for repairs. And I mean, it is what it is. I've been working on it, trying to perfect it. I just don't know how they're calculating those recaps yet. I've not figured that out, because like my second day I only get 30 minutes back. I don't understand that. And then the next day I get 5 hours and 33 minutes back. So it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand how they calculate that. If someone knows about that, let me know. I'd just like to see if I can help figure it out as well. Anyway, but no, we're surviving out here, folks, and we're going to keep trucking and see how things are going. Hopefully we'll get a good load. Hopefully it's not east, because of the hurricane. Laura really hit the coast this morning really hard down there at St. Charles in Louisiana. And this looks like this thing is curving up through Arkansas, going right across into Tennessee, Kentucky, into lower Ohio. I mean, it's going to be in the east for the next 2 to 3, well, I'd say 2 days, 3 days tops, all the way up to D.C. So it's making a complete right turn and going straight east. So all those states are going to be affected: Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia, Maryland, District of Columbia, even Alabama, freaking Georgia. All of them people are going to get it. It's got a direct beat for Little Rock, Arkansas. So I'm hoping with that being said, that they kind of keep me out here to the west till the stuff blows over. So we'll see. I'm in a pretty good location, I think. Oklahoma City. I could go to Arkansas, which that's not good, or I can go to Kansas, or I can go to the western part of Oklahoma, over to Elk City, or I might even end up going back to Texas. I don't know. I have not seen any proposals. I don't understand why we're not getting proposed loads ahead of schedule, so we can review and decide whether we want to accept it or reject. I'd like to see that happen more often. They're saying we've got a bunch of freight out there, so I was hoping after I did my 90 arrival, they would have sent something to me, but they haven't sent anything to me yet. So. But anyway, I know that ELD question, Rod, it wasn't an answer, but I mean, I'm just working. It's a learning as it goes is what I'm doing. I'm just trying to perfect it for my comfort and see how it happens. And we'll really get to experience, quote unquote, if nothing else happens to this truck. I'm not planning on going back to my house. I have a scheduled doctor's appointment on October 2nd. And I have to make that appointment because it's going to have to do with my DOT physical, which is due up in November 1st. So I've got to get it done, because I got to get my, what they call endocrinologist, your diabetes doctor. I've got to get her to fill out the waiver forms for my diabetes, so that goes with me when I go to the DOT doctor. So right now, we're working on it. We're going to see how it works out, and hopefully here in about I'd say another few weeks from now. I got about 4 weeks when my commitment with Prime is up. Since I'm a veteran and I only have to give them 9 months of my life. So we're going to see. Right now, I've not made no plans, folks. I mean, I'm just still hanging in there and keep driving on and being safe. So anyway, that's about all I got for today. I'll keep up and let you know what's coming up next, maybe here this afternoon or this evening. Again, thanks everybody for your comments, likes, and everything. Continue them. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I could use all the comments and all the people on my channel. It'd be awesome. We're going to keep trucking on here and see how things end. I hope you like it. If you're first time visiting my channel, I've been doing this since I started back in November of last year. I've run through all my sequence. I talk about this every day, so for new viewers, if they're out there visiting for the first time, and it follows the chronological order of when I started with Prime, day one all the way till now. And I've been doing this now on my own for about 4 months, and it's been interesting, enjoyable, and adventurous, let me tell you. But we're going to keep trying to do the best we can out here. I'm trying to grow the Fu Man back and see what that, maybe that's some luck or something that we don't know. And we're going to keep trucking on and carrying on and do what we can. So once you all be safe out there, you're out in this path of this hurricane, guys, be careful, man, because them winds will knock you right over if you're not careful, if you're not heavy loaded. But anyway, you be safe, take care of yourself. COVID's still going strong. We want to keep our health and everything, and our family's health. And we'll talk next time, but continue to remember, my motto is, we always keep driving and striving for perfection. You all have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Bye now.